Hello, everybody. Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. Well, the market is in correction, as we were talking about today. Wow, Kazowie, lots Dallas Trading Floor. Lots of the market is lots of stuff going down. I had to turn off my speaker there. Was getting a little bit of feedback. By the way, if you're looking on TikTok, super easy to get on the live stream with all the charts. All you have to do is go to www.bit.ly/TTF 463. So just go there. You'll be able to see everything as we present it. Just wanted to kind of get into kind of what's going on. I did enter an interesting trade. Let's see if I can let me pull up all of the slides here. I didn't have all of them up. Let's see. Okay, let's see if I can get everything up here. Running a little bit behind time. Let's see if I can pull this in here. Okay, There we go. All right. Just a second. We'll have these up for you. There we go. Here we go. So this is kind of the way it looks here. You know, frowny face. Oil is up. Inflation's raging. The stock market may be selling off. Tech's not doing so well, but we have an answer, and that answer, of course, are the bear spreads that we're going to show you in just a few minutes. Basically, here is the condition of my small portfolio. Notice it's a lot more in cash than it was. Basically, I'm only holding on to 3 stocks right now. Can you believe it? Tesla, which is kind of falling, Rio Tinto, which went up today, and OAS as well. So, kind of a mixed bag here. Just wanted to show you, really, this is all I got. Guess what went up today? It was Rio Tinto. This is the stock that has basically, this is for mining and all that kind of stuff. So this is the stock that's doing the best right now. It's one of the best stocks out there right now is Rio Tinto, if you can believe that. Just wanted to show you the chart on it. It's got this sort of cup action. It's moving up. It's up $2.19 today. And so this is one of the few ones I have long, 98 relative strength. This is in the top 2% of all the shares out there. Kind of amazing when you think about it. If you want to get on our list to get the January 2022 stock watch list, just go to this address, bit.ly/TTF0025. So without further ado, I'm going to show you a real interesting trade that I put on today on Delta Airlines, and this is a bear call spread. So I wanted to kind of show you how that one works. Well, everybody thought that with COVID lightening up and everything like that, that the airlines were going to do better. Well, I don't believe it. I believe, unfortunately, that we're going to see a lot more inflation. Fuel prices are going up. People are traveling less. Lots of flights are getting canceled. I just don't think Delta's going to do that well. And so here's what I did is I put together a bear trade on it. Now, today, Delta was at 38.88. And what I did was I bought March 18th 40 calls, and I sold the 35 calls for March 18th as well. Now, this put $924 in my pocket. Now, if you only did one of these contracts, of course, you would divide this by 3, because basically, this is for 3 contracts. So this is the break even on this one is 38. So look at this. This is kind of a cool one. We're starting out right here, and as you can see, it's already dropped today. Delta's not looking good, but it's looking good on our trade because the lower Delta goes, the better we like it. This is the chart of Delta. As you can see, it kind of jumped up here to the 200-day moving average, pulled back, and it's headed downward. So this one hopefully will turn into some gold here as it falls lower. See, so basically to recap this one, this is the ones that we did today. We went in, we bought those March 18th 40 calls. We sold the 25 calls, this is for the March 18th, in our pocket with the 3 contracts, $924. The potential is that this will expire, as you can see over here. It'll move lower and it'll expire, and we'll just keep all the money. So that's this play here. Hopefully it works. Hopefully it works. We also have another one that I want to kind of show you. This one we put out just a few days ago. This was the bear call spread on Rent-A-Center. And of course, Rent-A-Center, if you've seen that, kind of like Aaron's and all those other places that sell, crappy furniture for overpriced. Well, that's these guys. They're not doing as well, I don't think. I just think people are tightening up. I think they're going to go to the thrift shop rather than Rent-A-Center. And so I'm looking for this one to go down. Yesterday, what we did on this one is we bought the February 18th 45 calls, and then we sold simultaneously the 40 calls, and we put $945 in our pocket. So the question is, can we run out the clock on this one? If this one stays below 43.15, we will make the money on this one. So this kind of shows you where we're at on the chart on this one. Rent-A-Center seems to be falling very nicely, and hopefully we'll get over into this area by February 18th. If we do, it'll expire worthless, and then we will be hard to end the money on this one. This is the chart for Rent-A-Center. As you can see, it also is headed down. Now, not all stocks that are headed south make good bear trades, but when they're falling below that critical 200-day line, that's that black line there, and they kind of have this shape, sometimes they can be very, very good trades. Let's change gears. Let's look at one that we have a bull trade on. We're hoping, of course, that this one goes higher, and this one is everyone's favorite Exxon Mobil, and this one we put on the 19th. This is really just, we just started this one, and it basically is, here's how it worked. With this one, we bought the February 18th 70 puts, and we sold simultaneously the 72.50 puts for a total of $784. But we did have a few more contracts on this one. We had 7 contracts on this one, so this is a little bit thinner. It's only 2.5 wide in terms of the price. We have about a 60% probability that this one's going to work out. Hopefully it will. If it stays above 71.58, then we will make the money. So this is kind of how it works. Today it was up a little bit, just 5 cents, not a whole lot. But as you can see, we're moving right. We're starting to move into that green area at 73.18. We're close today. And as you can see, as it moves across, if we can hold it into this band, we will make the money on this one. So hopefully we're going to make some money on this one. That's the hope anyways. Now, it doesn't always work out all that well. I do have a trade on Tesla, and this was an iron condor that we put on January 6th. As you know, Tesla's kind of been moving down into the earnings, so I don't kind of know where this one's going. When we open this one, this is an iron condor, and basically, it's a combination of a call spread and a put spread. And this one cost us this one we put in our pocket $962. Now, the question is, this will make money as long as it stays above the break even. There's 2 break evens on this, 1,015, and we're down below that, or if it stays below 1334. So this is a little bit different. This is sort of 2 and 1. As you can see, it kind of has this round shape. We're way down here. We're way down here. So we may have to adjust this. We're very likely to have to adjust this. But fortunately, because of the way this one was set up initially, we have a little bit of credit to do that. We can kind of move this one down. I'm probably going to be working on this one tomorrow. We're going to see how Tesla trades. I think that we're going to see some support for Tesla right about 1,000. Who knows where we're going to see it, but that's kind of what I'm thinking on this. So we may be adjusting this one. you can't win them all. So this one probably will be an adjustment on this. So yeah, so there we go. So just kind of wanted to get into these trades. Let's push over to the charts and start answering some of those questions that everybody's got. Let's see if I can. Oops, there, that didn't quite work. Let's see if I can do this. I'm just gonna put this over to the charts, and this is a Tesla chart here, so take a look at it. So let's get into the questions. Thank you very much for holding. You're very patient. Appreciate it. I'm gonna, instead of taking one to the top, I'm gonna do to talk to somebody here a little bit further down. Thanks, Arun, so much. Jim, what happens if I'm not able to close my put spread? Will the loss be the width of the spread or the premium I receive? Interestingly enough, it's going to be it could be more than that. So here's what you need to do if you are not able to close the spread. You need to put in a limit, and then you need to just kind of move that limit up, and then you should be able to close it. Arun, maybe you could send me an instant message or something like that. Just send a message over, and I will help you out on this one. Let me just send it over to DallasTradingFloor@gmail.com, and hopefully we can get you all fixed up there, because I could explain it, but but it's probably easier if I do it offline. All right, thank you very much, Jim. Is gold looking good? Good question. Gold normally should do very well in gold should do. You would think that gold would do great with all this inflation talk. Well, it's starting to seems like it's moving from its slumber. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reactivate this trend line. It definitely has moved up above the 200-day line. So this is starting to look good. We're in a consolidation on GLD. Now, GLD is the gold shares, and basically what it does is it's the one that corresponds to the underlying price of gold bullion. And I haven't looked at it. I think gold bullion is north of 1,800 right now. I have to check on that, but we're starting to see some strength here. We still have relatively weak relative strength at 68. Remember, this is not a stock, obviously. This is an ETF. But let's look at the pattern recognition, and we are basically just 1% of the pivot. So we're almost there. You could definitely start probably buying this at 174.67. Now the question is, do you believe in gold enough? Well, I don't know. I'm actually more comfortable right now. If you want to get an ETF that's probably going to see a big jump and you don't want to pick a particular stock, I would recommend taking a look at some of the spiders for the energy. The XLE might be one that would work for you. That's the XLE. It's a little bit extended. It just came above its buy point 59.41. It is at 64, so it's moved up very, very nicely, staying right on this 10-day line. I happen to believe that the performance of, I think we're going to have better performance with, quite frankly, with the we're going to have better performance with the oils than we are probably going to have with gold. That's just my opinion on it, but there you go. All right, Samuel has a question on Upstart. Can we short this thing? Let's look at it. OUPST. This would probably be a good short. Yeah, this is definitely something that we could possibly look to short. We have a lot of things going on here that are good for shorting. One of the first things that we have is, you'll notice this red line has dropped below this black line. This is called the death cross, and this shows weakness in the stock. Now, it looks as if it tried to rally to the 21-day line. It failed. It came down. It tried to rally to the 10-day line, and it probably will have another touch at the 10-day line. Here's what I would do. It's not exactly the right time to short Upstart, but it's getting there, because we have this top here. And then we don't really have a true left shoulder, right shoulder situation, but we kind of do. This is on the daily chart. So it's probably best if we look at a weekly chart. But this is looking very weak. And let's see technically if we can find a place to short. The checklist is bad. That's good for us to short anyways. We are 19% away from the 21-day line. Let's look at the pattern rack. We're off 45% in 110 days. Okay, really the real place probably to short this thing, if you were going to do it, would be basically as it moves up to this 21-day line. And that's my guess. Currently, we're 19%. So here's what I would do on this one, Samuel. I wouldn't short it here. I would wait for a rally above the 10-day line. The 10-day line is 7% below. Wait for it to rally up and possibly rally up to the 21-day line. That's where it's going to start coming back. So get ready with the short. Not probably a short right at the moment. I would get ready with the short on that one. Great. Let's look at Ford. And that one actually might look decent. Let's see if it is decent here. Let's look at Ford. Boy, Ford took a dumper today. I think the whole market is kind of doing this. It's down. It looks like it tested the 21-day line and it is moving down. Hey, we've got a call. I don't know who this is, but I'm going to see. It's probably a junk call, but let me take a look. Jamala at Dallas Trading Floor. Hello? Hello? Very weird call. Okay, that was a call from somebody I don't know. Let's take another question here. RADA, let's look at it. And RADA is Rada Electric Industries, Israeli manufacturer of solid-state recorders. Interesting. Okay, well, it's below the 200-day line. I don't like that. The 40-day cross below. This is the death cross below the 200-day line. 31 relative strength. It looks like it's getting a little bit of strength here. Would not buy this one along. Yeah, I would. It's extended above. It's 6% above the 10-day line. Would I buy this thing? Let's look at the weekly chart to see. You know, I don't think this is one you want. This is in a downward trend. So here's what I would say on this one. I think you just got to be. I think you just got to pass on this one. This is just not a good chart, and I think you just gotta. I think you just gotta pass on this one. So pass for now. I would not buy this one. That's sort of my that's sort of my take on it. So I would pass on this one for now. It's in a downward trend, and wow, I just don't think that's going to work. So I would be very, very careful on this one. But I appreciate the question. Let's look at MU. This is an interesting stock. In many ways, I think this is misclassified. This is really a semiconductor company, but it is in the storage area. It has been doing fairly well. In the data storage group, they seem to be doing very, very well. On the fundamentals here, we're seeing this beautiful, 30% growth every quarter. And look at the profits. They're just moving right up. This also has a very low, for what it is, it has a very, very low PE ratio, which is 12. Now, normally I don't look at the PE ratio because I've been more concentrating on growth stocks. And of course, as we know, with growth stocks, the lower the interest rate, typically the better they do. Now with the interest rates going up, some of these stocks that actually make money, like Micron, look at that, are probably going to do better. This has an EPS growth rate of 14. That's excellent. PE ratio is 12. The question is, can we buy this thing? Can we find a place to buy it? It's right in the buy zone right now. And if this gets strength, you definitely could buy this. But here's the thing. in this particular market, I just have to be careful. Right now, the market is in correction, so I'm just not going to be a buyer on this one long. I just right now it's not the stock, it's just the market. I'm just unsure with on this one for the market. So because of the market being in correction, I would not buy now. This stock this stock this stock crosses all the T's, dots all the I's, checks all the boxes. The only problem right now is that this market is crazy tough to trade because it is in a correction. I am much more secure being in cash and being on the short side right now. So I wouldn't buy this one, but this one is buyable if you are using the standard way of looking at things. So right now, this one is buyable if you're looking at it in those terms. It is buyable. I wouldn't buy it only because the market is in correction. That's the only reason I wouldn't be a buyer here, is because the market is in correction. All right, let's take a look at do we look at GLD? Thanks for that question. Let's take a look at, all right. Any entry on, thanks, Kate, appreciate it. Thanks for watching all the time. I appreciate it. I appreciate your viewing. Let's look at Microsoft. Microsoft has really taken a dump. This is just the general overall kind of, moving. This is the big boys sort of moving out into cash. There's nothing wrong with Microsoft, but there's just so much weakness, unfortunately, in the computer software desktop area right now. It's just amazing. This is a really a tremendous stock. I mean, everybody knows, of course, about Microsoft, but it is in this consolidation. It's at the low end of it. It's right at the kind of a 305, 303 floor. I do think this one's going to start to trade up, but it does not. This is not the kind of trend you want to look at. This has a downward trend right now, just in the short term. So would I buy this now? No, I would wait. I would wait to see if we could buy it off this reversal line, and that, of course, is the 200-day line. Now, I don't want to buy it below the 200-day line, but if it reverses off this 200-day line, that's probably where you want to buy it. So you want to hold back possibly and wait until it moves to about 293 or something. I think it will, because I think it's going to continue falling. That's probably where you want to start picking it up, would be right about there. But that's a great question. There's no entry right now for it. So right now, right now, Microsoft is in a downward trend, but that may change. So MSFT is in a downward trend right now, but is in a down. It really is in a down. It's in a downward trend. I just probably would not be a buyer of it here. Again, this is another case. It's sort of like the situation with Micron. Great company, but not a really good place to buy it. It's just not a really good place to buy it right now. I'd be super careful. I'm just overly cautious right now, just because of the overall market condition, everything being in a downward trend. Let's jump on over and look at this. Look at the look at how some of these indexes are doing. I want to look at first of all, I want to look at the Dow. Let's take a look at the Dow. This is the actual Dow, and we are below that 200. We are below the 40-day line. We're coming down possibly to test the 200-day line. This, of course, is the Dow Jones. That's looking pretty weak. It looks like we might have had a top here. We might have had a top here, and this may be forming a downward trend. I don't know how it's going to look. But let's look at the monthly. Yeah, I think we may be seeing a peak. This is the coronavirus, and then upward. We've been moving up since then. I think we may be at a peak on the Dow. Let's see. Also, I want to take a look at the Nasdaq, because that's really going to be the tell. And let's see if I can get the Nasdaq composite. Let's see if I can get the composite on that and see if I can do that one. Again, very much weakness right now in the market. We're in a correction. Yeah, we're below, and this is the key. Right now, we're below that critical 200-day moving average. The market is in correction right now. This is really why it is in correction. It tried to hold on to the 200-day line. It moved below it. So we're going to see a sell-off. We're looking to see a sell-off in the market. This, of course, is the Nasdaq Composite. This is where all the techs live. This is the reason why you're seeing Apple, Microsoft, all the big techs pulling back because of because they're in the Nasdaq. So you're seeing that. So there's a lot of weakness right now. Let's just see. So right now we want to be really restricting our buys. As you could see by my first slides today, I've been reducing my position. I've been stopping out of positions. I've been taking very little profits, but I've been taking a little bit of profits on some of mine, trying to get back into cash, because I do think that we're going to have an issue where we're going to have some opportunities, but right now it's pulling back, and we just want to kind of get out of the way, kind of get it out of the way right now. Let's look at the spider. This is the let's look at the S&P first. Look at that, and of course this is the S&P 500 index. And let's take a look. Yeah, again, this one isn't quite as damaged as the Nasdaq, but it's definitely below the 50-day moving average. So, we could see some more damage here. We're definitely in a correction right now. So, not a great time to be buying stocks. Kind of a time to be building the watch list. That's sort of the way we deal. Okay. Oh, you skipped Ford. Sorry about that. Let me pull up Ford here. I apologize. Got too excited there. Ford has pulled back below the 21-day line. So we may have a reversal here, but it is pulled back from the 21-day line. What I'm starting to see in the volume is I'm definitely starting to see some weakness. This is a little bit concerning for me, but Ford has been doing great, and I think it's still a great stock. It's got a relative strength of 99, but right now it's it's extended. The time to buy it was right here at 1645 as it came up, and then it's been kind of a little bit extended. It's probably going to pull back down, and we're going to see some strength. So I wouldn't be adding to the position here, but I wouldn't be selling either. We're currently 7% below the 10-day line and almost on the 21-day line. So I think we're going to see some support at this level, and then we'll probably see it move higher. But remember, in this market, even the strongest stocks like Ford are just going to be weak because we're in a market correction right now. All right, let's look at Roku. Is there anything we can short there on Roku? Let's look. Now, shorting is more difficult than doing than buying stock long, because as the stock goes down, it has these dead cat bounces that can wipe you out very, very quickly. This is Roku, and Roku is still it's still above 200. I don't know if I would be a short on this one quite yet. It does kind of appear like it's getting there, but it's sort of in a situation where I don't know if we can short it yet. Let's kind of look at the characteristics to see if there's anything there. It's below all the major moving averages. On the pattern rec, it is below 64% below the pivot in 125 days. Wow, that is a lot, folks. That is a lot. It does look like it has a downward trend though, Samuel. So yeah, I think you could possibly you do something there. It does look like a downward trend. I'd be careful though. I wouldn't short it by just. I would do a spread because it's going to give you some protection in case if there's a blow off top or something like that. All right, let's look at Disney. Of course, this is a Dow component, and I also think along with Delta Airlines where I did the short, where I did the bear call spread. This I think Disney and all these travel related stocks. I mean, I think there was a lot of hope, but they just don't look good. I mean, what's looking like this to me is it's trading below that 200-day line. It's trying to rally to the 50-day line. It's rallied and then it's gone down. It's rallied and then it's gone down. So I suspect I would wait for this thing to rally, and then if it rallies back to this line, goes down, rallies. That would be where I would short it. This is a shortable stock, but remember, this is probably a better trade. This is probably a better bear trade, probably a better bear put spread than a short. But this is definitely declining, and I think at least if the COVID thing continues, and I don't know if it is, but if it does, I think we have kind of a situation where we're definitely in a downward trend, and this could easily go to 100, no question about it. So what I see with Disney is it is shortable, but I would be a little bit more careful on it. Let's look at Airbnb. The stocks I like to short typically are not as high flying. I like to do lower price stocks to short, and the reason is because because of their lower price, they drop more as a percentage than the higher price stocks do. This is Airbnb. Let's pull it up. I'm showing you at the monthly chart here. So we got to go to the daily chart to see what's really going on here with Airbnb. Again, I don't think Airbnb is going out of business, but you've got these issues. I was a buyer as it's moved up. I was stopped out, as you can see at 202, and then I haven't been back in. And of course, it's dropped 50%. This is kind of the reason why this is why I pushed my stop losses up. I bought there, and then I got stopped out there. So, and then I haven't been back in it. It's below the 200-day line, and yeah, it's just looking pretty weak. Is it shortable? I don't know if I want to short this one right now. I still think it's too high. I think some of the best shorts are going to be in the airline area. Let's kind of look there, because that's kind of an area of the market that I do believe, that I do believe that there's a lot of shortable things that's going to be in the airline group. So let's see if I can go over here to the group, and I'm just going to go. This is alphabetical, so we're going to look at the transportation airline. Let's go down here. Okay, all right. This is where we're going to probably find, I think, some of the better ones to short, because they're in the retail sector. Let's see if I can. Transportation, freight, logistics, rail, well, everything else but airlines. There we go. Okay, so this is the group. This is the airline transport group. As you can see, it's in a downward trend. This is one of the reasons why I think it's a good place to look for shorts. It's below the 200-day line. We've had it bouncing up to the 40-day line, and it is definitely in decline. The group itself is not doing that well, and let's see what the companies are. Now, I would not short UAL, but there's some other ones in here that I think are shortable. I think American probably is shortable, and of course, I am doing Delta right now as a short, because I do think that you're going to see some degradation. This shows you where I entered the this shows you where I entered the spread here. I do believe this one is moving down as well. So this is where I do see a lot of weakness, and that's why I am a short there. So let's see if I can put that one up and show you. this one, no. Exxon. I got, let's see if I can. Yeah, this is the one that this is the one I entered the bear call spread today on, and the reason is I think the area is weak, but I also think that yeah, as you can see, it's moving like this. Let's go back to the chart here. It's below that 200-day line. So this one I do think is a good short. That's part of the reason I've been in this one as a short. And of course, if you're, and you can see we're already starting to go into the green. So I'm a little bit more bullish on shorting these kind of stocks rather than some of the other ones. All right. Oh, hey, thank you very, very much. Thanks for watching, actually. I do appreciate it. Sometimes I don't think anybody's watching, but I am so glad that you are. And hopefully we're going to make some money here. AMD. Let's look at AMD. Oh, I wish I had better news. I wish I had better news. I love this stock, but, it's just, man, this is a tough market. Most of the stocks are going down. I'm trying to be with the going down of the stocks. That's why I'm going to cash and mostly to bear trades. This one just not looking good. The company is still great. It's not about the company; it's about the market. And I just don't think it's good. I don't think this is a good place to be in it until it moves above that line. That's the reversal line. I just think you got to avoid it for right now. So basically where it's at for AMD, it is in a downward trend right now. Fine. I still think that AMD is a class act. It's a good group, but we just don't want to buy them. We just won't want to buy them when they're in these downward trends. And right now it is in a downward trend, so we can't really do anything with AMD. I wish we could, but we've really got to concentrate on. We really have to concentrate right now, and this is tough. These are hard markets to trade. When the market goes down, everybody's instinct, and it's my instinct too, is to jump in, see if you could, but wait on this. Go to cash. There will be a reversal. I will tell you, believe me, I will tell you when this happens. Right now, we want to concentrate on basically several kinds of trades. One of the trades that we want to concentrate on possibly are the bear puts and calls spreads. That's a good trade. Second one we want to look at is the iron condor, only because that tends to be with volatility. But actually, the bear trades are better than the iron condors right now. Third, and this is the hardest thing. We want to move into cash, take our profits now, and then the market will pull back, it'll adjust, and then when it turns, that's when we're going to have an opportunity. So not a wholly exciting thing. Here I am, a stock guy, telling you that you shouldn't buy anything now. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy anything, but you should be really careful about what you buy right now. I'm over 50% in cash. I'm actually, as of today, I think I'm 70% in cash, and I'm just waiting until the market turns. All right, but thank you very much for that comment. So appreciate it. All right, what do you think about NVIDIA? I love NVIDIA. I just don't like buying it though in this market because we are in a downward trend, and as you can see, there it is. Just like AMD, we're in this downward trend, and right now we're trended below the reversal line, and that is just not a place to buy. So again, we just have to wait. We just have to wait on it to come back down. So I would do nothing here. I know that's probably the worst answer. Well, he told me to do nothing. I think you want to be in cash right now. You just want to protect your capital. When it turns, we're going to have some opportunities. All right. Can you do CCL? Okay, CCL, Carnival Cruise Lines, and this is for a question from TikTok. I know that a lot of people. This was a great stock last year, meme stock. But you know what? I am in the process of getting very very bearish on a lot of these stocks, and I may be a short on Carnival because I just don't see with COVID raging. We do have a double bottom pattern. This is a good pattern, but I just see weakness. And if this thing pulls below, if this thing pulls below the if this thing pulls below the 40-day line, I just don't think this is. I think this is going down. I'm not a short yet on this one, but I'm looking possibly to short it. This is sort of I don't know. This is sort of one that I think that we just have to kind of look at. This is when we just kind of have to look at shorting. I would not be in Carnival right now. I know that they're advertising a lot. It's everybody's. It would be great if everyone, if we were back. But I think this COVID thing, unfortunately, is going to go on for a longer period of time. It's already been on for 2 years. I think we've got probably another year until we have a election. I don't think we're going to end this COVID thing because I think that it's the only thing that one party has in their bag of tricks, and so it's going to be COVID, and that's just not going to help Carnival at all. So I would not be a buyer of Carnival in long and short of it. We covered Tesla. Let's look at Apple. This is one I had a bear trade on. I closed it early, and I probably shouldn't have because this has continued to move down. You can see there it is. I entered it on the 13th. I was stopped out of this, believe it or not, and it's continued to move down. I think this is going to move down further. We're going to see some weakness, probably down to about 160. I think there's 5 or 10 points down on this one. I would not be buying Apple either. This is the reason why the Nasdaq is not doing well and the QQQ is not doing well, because the biggest stocks in there. This is the most valuable company in the world. Apple is the most valuable company in the world. So right now in this market, it just has really nowhere to go. And where it's going to go probably is it's going to go down. People are going to be selling this one just because they have a lot of profit there. So I think that this one is going to be sold down. All right, we have, I think, about 1 or 2 more questions, and then we will be there. We took a look at NVIDIA. Why does oil prices go high when inflation goes? That is such a good question. Thank you for answering that question. The reason why, the question is, what is inflation? Now, most people don't really understand what inflation is. Inflation is basically it's not just more dollars chasing fewer goods. What it is it's the value of money. The value of money is dropping because the Federal Reserve has been for years forcing a very very low interest rates below 1%. That's why you can't get any money in the bank. And with those low interest rates, eventually what happens is that catches up to people and that forces prices higher. And I know that sounds very strange. Why would low interest rates force prices higher? Well, because it causes a misallocation in the market. What happened is when we got the new president, immediately he cut production of oil in this country by 40%. Unfortunately, that meant that we had to start importing oil. We had to start paying more for oil because it wasn't coming from the United States. And that caused, with oil prices going up, unfortunately, oil is in everything. So the reason we're having supply chain problems, quite frankly, is as the oil prices go up, the cost of everything goes up, the supply chain doesn't work as well, and we have lots of problems. So this is why I'm very, very bullish on oil. This is why I have the only bull spread I have is on Exxon. Everything else I am just very bearish on, and it has a lot to do with the price of oil. And everybody thinks, and even though I am a Tesla bull, it's just something that you got to deal with. The reason we have an economy for 120 years, it's been oil. And this is the reason why I put the bull put spread on Exxon, because as the inflation goes up, the price and the profitability of companies like Exxon will go up. And this is the reason I did this spread. As you can see, the price of everything else in this market is going down, but the oil companies, especially the big ones, they're doing good. And why is that? Well, the reason it is because everybody has to buy oil and they're not buying anything else. That's why the price of oil goes up. So it's kind of a, it stinks. It really stinks, but unfortunately it's really the name of the game. I want to show you again the allocation in my portfolio. I've been stomping out of everything. The only three things I have really in the small portfolio, I have Tesla, Rio Tinto, which is a copper miner, and Oasis Petroleum. That's really it. And then I have spreads, of course, on the others. But oil, resource, and Tesla. So that's I think Tesla for the long term, but right now we have a lot of inflation. The only things that are going to go up probably, at least for a while, are going to be things. Look at what's surging. Trucking. Well, why would trucking? Because they can charge what they want, because they don't, for a lot of reasons. Oil, of course, the drillers are doing very, very well. The big integrated oil companies like Oxy, they're going to continue. They're also going to do well. Whereas last year they were dying on the vine because we had very low interest rates. We have high real interest rates now. It's not gold that's going to go up; it's going to be oil, and that's that's just the long and the short of it. So, I'm not trying to. I know a lot of people will disagree with me, but it just seems like every time there's lots of inflation, oil goes up. It just does. I'm old enough to remember the Carter administration, believe it or not, and I saw oil go through the roof, and I saw inflation go through the roof, and they work in tandem. We have a question from we have a question from TikTok on Oracle. Let's take a look at it. Oracle has fallen off. It seems to have this ceiling at about 100. I like the company. Of course, it's got great it's got great numbers in terms of earnings, but it's a mature company, and even though their profits are going up very, very nicely, this is a mature company. The sales are going up, but not as much as they were. It's in the computer software database area, 141 out of 197. So this is not one of the top performing sectors right now. It may change. I do like the company. They have really good management, but in this kind of environment, I just don't see it as being a winner. I just don't. Right now, the place to be, I believe, is cash. Cash is king, and also the oils. The oils are looking good only because of inflation. So oils and cash right now, that's where I'm at, and that's where I think that you might want to look for good stuff there. I'm going to try to put out some of the top-rated oil companies that possibly are available, and I'll try to put that out as much as I can. All right. And if you want to see that list of top-rated oil companies, I'm going to put that out. Top-rated oil companies, and I'm going to probably try to put that out either today or tomorrow. But you got to be on the Action Trade Alerts, and the easy way to do that, of course, you can just go to www.Dallas Trading Floor. If you're watching on TikTok, just go to my profile, first and last name. And we're probably going to be getting that out to everybody tonight. That's really what's doing well in this market. Right now, we're in a market in correction. Don't recommend buying stocks, but if you got that itchy trigger finger like I do, and you need to buy something, consider buying the oils. The oils are probably the only area that I really, really like. So energy, oils, maybe some mining, Rio Tinto. Let's look at Rio Tinto again, RIO. I own it. I own it because, it is doing well, and it's in a very good but this is a counter. Normally, I wouldn't buy a stock like this, but in this case, look at these numbers. This just shows you how much inflation is out there. Rio Tinto is basically a copper miner, and of course, the world runs on copper. All the Tesla cars have lots of it in it. We're seeing lots of sales increases in a company that mines copper. Okay, and we're looking at lots of profit increases here. Rio Tinto. So these are the kind of stocks that I like. Some of the mining and metal ores, and some of the other stocks. There is also one other stock. If you're really sick of everything, you got to buy something. You don't really want to be totally go, totally, you don't want to totally go into cash. You want something that is gonna do well in times of trouble like this, where the market is going down. The value stocks win, and the best value stock probably over the last 50 years has been Berkshire Hathaway. So BRKB, and I haven't recommended this one for a long time, but BRKB right now is looking pretty decent. So let's look at that chart. This is Berkshire Hathaway, of course. This is the Warren Buffett stock. This is the stock that made him famous, and it is doing fairly well. It's just extended just slightly. It's just above a buy zone. You actually could buy it here. This wouldn't be a bad place to buy it. There's no options on this one. 319. This one might not be a bad idea. I did buy it back in August. I bought it too early, and I ended up selling it. I bought it at the top of this consolidation, which was a mistake. But I do think that we do have another opportunity in this one. This is the king of the value stocks, and they're just humming right along. Insurance seems to be working, and Dairy Queen and the railroad and everything else like that they've got. Sales aren't too spectacular, but the profits are really good. So this is if you got to buy something, you got to be in a stock, you got to be in an area right now. This is not a bad time to buy Berkshire Hathaway. Symbol BRKB. I'll be back tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Thanks everybody so much for taking a look at the show. Here is the website, so you can get on the action trailer. It's very easy to do, and I will also give you the email address if you're into that as well. So until tomorrow at 4 o'clock, happy trading, everyone. I'm going to try to concentrate more on some of these bear trades, because I think right now the place to be in the market is in cash and in these bear trades. So thanks again. I will see you back here tomorrow. By the way, I just have a very a request. Please like us on YouTube. This helps us get out to a lot more people. So please like and subscribe. Really appreciate it, of course. And happy trading.